Hello everyone, welcome to Dante's Daily Diary once again, and hope you're having a great time. Hopefully we're gonna have a lot of fun. So today our next destination is at the Forks Market, and we're gonna do a lot of things over there. We're gonna check out the place, we're gonna see what we can buy there, we're gonna eat, we're gonna check out that tourist spot. Join us folks, so let's go. Okay folks, we're here at the Forks Market and we're gonna stroll around the area. Alright folks, this place, it's kind of interesting. Like, we're gonna check out the restaurants, check out all those souvenir shops, see what we can buy here, and I'm gonna visit my friend too. Look, it's like St. Lawrence Market in Toronto. Wow, there's so many shops. Yeah, and it's cleaner than Toronto. It's not that really big, not like the St. Lawrence in Toronto, but it's neat, clean, very nice. Whoa, look at that. Okay, let's stroll some more of the area. Okay, these are souvenirs. Okay, there's lots of souvenirs in here. We're gonna check out some of those items that we can buy for pasalubong. So we can give it to our friends when we go back to Toronto. Whoa, magnetic rocks. Okay, those rocks are plastic. It's not real rocks. Like, look, see? But the way they paint it is kind of like really, really nice, very, very detailed. Let's check some more over here. Maple syrups. What else? Oh, they have jam. Okay. Some tote bags. Lots of small things you can buy in here. Like, kumbaga sa atin, ang tawag nga is sari-sari, mga anik-anik, andito lahat. Yeah, and it's just fun. Very, very interesting. So, if you have an extra money, folks, andito na rin lang kayo since you're here. You can even buy some of those souvenirs here. Like, look at this. Winnipeg calendar. Some paintings over here. Manitoba Pride. Whoa! There's lots of souvenir items. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, this stone, I have this. Ito mabigat ito. It's too heavy and it's handmade. Real stone. So, hindi yan plastic. That's very detailed. And it's pricey too. Oh, some chocolates. Okay, there's some cannabis chocolates. What's that, mint or whatever? Okay, let's check out what's in here. What's this? Chocolate pizza? Whoa. Chocolate pizza. Let's get one of these. Some unusual chocolates that you don't find in Toronto. You can only find it in some Korean stores, but they have it here. Check out this area. There's so much people here.
today we're gonna be buying some tickets for the riverboat tour. We're gonna stroll the river. Oh, there's too many dandelions flying all over. Oh my gosh, look at that. But anyway folks, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button for me. Click the little bell icon and select all so you get notified of all my videos. And of course, don't forget to like and share the video as well.
Nice weather. Wow. Daming tao ah. People are enjoying. It's kind of nice to see. Let's just go here. Now that we got the tickets, we just have to wait. There's an allotted time when you buy the ticket, so we're just gonna wait for the other boat to arrive. Then we're gonna hop in and board. And meanwhile, we just have to wait for a bit. Maganda dito kasi talagang tahimik yung mga tao. They're well disciplined. You know, people, you know, walang mga hihingi or what, you know.
You guys have tickets for 5:05 is the next one?
Okay, now it's our turn. Let's just line up over here and then here we go. All aboard! Just select a comfortable seat.
Hello everybody, welcome aboard. My name is Nick. I am your boat captain and entertainment for the next half hour. So before we begin, Transport Canada just requests that I give you guys a quick safety briefing. So I'm just going to start by talking about these life jackets. Take out these life jackets, place them over your head, and tie these straps tightly around your waist. In addition to the life jackets, we also have life rafts at the front and back of the boat. This boat has 4 emergency exits, front, back, and both sides. We also have a first aid kit and fire extinguisher right here under the console. And most importantly, we have each other. So I hope everybody has fun this afternoon, and we're going to start our tour on the Assiniboine River. Is there anybody in here from out of town?
Vancouver.
Vancouver. Where are you from?
Vancouver.
Vancouver still? So is everybody from Vancouver?
Toronto.
Toronto? So Vancouver and Toronto. Any Winnipeggers?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Well, we're gonna have fun, hopefully. Hopefully I don't crash.
Which river is this?
This is the Assiniboine River. So we start our tour here on the Assiniboine. It is 1,070 kilometers long. It starts out in Saskatchewan and it ends right here at the Forks. So now I'm just gonna turn up the breeze a little bit and we're gonna go check out some stuff down on the Assiniboine.
Right, here we go. Amazing experience.
Correlate to flood levels here in the city of Winnipeg. So the bottom blue line, that would correlate to normal spring flooding. So the fact that we are still at the blue line here in June just goes to show how high the water level is. The yellow line is the cautionary line, so at that point the city would start sandbagging in preparation for flood, and the red line means that Winnipeg is experiencing above ground flooding. Now in the flood of the century, the water got as high as 3/4 of a way up the red line, even with our Red River floodway. Now our floodway is essentially a giant ditch. It's the second largest earth-moving project in the world. It's second only to the Panama Canal, and it's estimated that it saved Winnipeg roughly $40 billion in flooding damages. So after the flood of the century, they actually even increased the size of the floodway, and we haven't gotten that high since. This has actually been the highest the water has been, I think, since the flood of the century.
Oh, wow.
So now we're going to go look at something a little cooler than floodlines. our next stop of the tour. This is the Manitoba Legislative Building. It is the office of our provincial government. It's a pretty impressive building. It actually took 7 years to build. Construction started in 1913 and ended in 1920. Now, that is partly because of World War I, but also partly because of how massive it is. So our legislative building has over 250,000 square feet of space. The exterior is Tyndall stone, which is a type of limestone native to Manitoba. The quarry is actually just north of Winnipeg. And that stone is known for being highly fossiliferous, meaning it has lots of fossils in it. So I like to say that it's a building full of fossils. On top of the legislative building is the Golden Boy. He is a 17.5-foot tall statue made of bronze and plated in 24 karat gold. The Golden Boy looks north because that is said to be where the future of our province lies due to its vast natural resources. The guy at the foot here that we see, the nice statue, handsome man, that is Louis Riel. He is considered, broadly considered to be the father of Manitoba. He was the leader of the Red River Rebellion and helped bring Manitoba into Confederation in 1870. Louis Riel was Métis, meaning he was half French and half Indigenous. And yeah, he's pretty cool, and that's why the statue is there. So now we're gonna head back to the Forks, and the rest of our tour will be on the Red River. Does anybody want to take more pictures? We're good to go.
Okay, now we're going back. Very informative. See, if you're not, kung hindi kayo pupunta dito, hindi nyo malalaman yung mga scenery na nangyayari. So, might as well, kung andito na rin lang kayo sa Winnipeg, and you happen to go to the Forks, I guess you have to try this food ride. Nice and thrilling experience. Hindi mo na malilimutan to. It's a lifetime experience. So, yung mga nagsasabi, mahirap daw ang buhay dito sa Canada, kailangan daw, trabaho kayo lang, ganito, ganyan. Masyado silang negative doon sa mga comments. Huwag kayo maniniwala ron kasi sila mismo ayaw nilang umuwi.
So if you guys want a little context of how high the water level really is here in Winnipeg, that right there is a covered walkway. So typically you can walk 1.75 kilometers along the Assiniboine River, but because of how high the water is, the walkway is completely underwater.
Wow.
And here we are in June, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So this at one point, 35 years ago, was a huge rail. So those buildings on the left there, or sorry, on the right hand side, that is Johnson Terminal. Those were offices for the railroad, and on the left, those were horse stables.
Oh.
So now we see the observation tower, and the two buildings are connected, and that is now the Forks Market. So it's filled with little restaurant kiosks and shops and stuff. But originally they housed up to 100 horses each. So that's pretty cool. That blue line over there indicates how high the water was in 1950, which was another crazy flood. Yeah, the Forks is a very popular spot in this day and age. Outdoor beer garden, lots of good food, great place to hang out. And of course, Splash Dash. So this up ahead is a nice footbridge, and originally it was a railroad bridge that serviced the yard. Now, it's actually a lift bridge, so if you'll look, you'll see some gears there that look almost brand new. That's because when this bridge was built, it only had to be lifted once and then never again. Because Winnipeg never really took off as the shipping center it was expected to be. So now this unused lift mechanism sits here. Are the Udena circle. Udena is an Ojibwe word that means part of the community, so it's a very important ceremonial site. It's also a naked eye observatory, so on certain days of the year you can look along the poles and they will point out certain constellations, which is pretty cool. Now the bowl of the circle was actually an archaeological dig site where they found artifacts that is like up to 6,000 years old.
Wow.
They actually found 2 seashells indigenous only to the coast of BC alongside seashells indigenous only to the Gulf of Mexico in the same layer of sediment up to 6,000 years ago. Which is pretty cool because it leads us to conclude that the Forks as a place of importance and as a meeting place could be up to 6,000 years old. And this is obviously why it's called the Forks. Here's where the 2 rivers meet. So on our right here, we're just entering the Red River. The Red River starts down at Bois des Sioux, which is in North Dakota. It comes up here, goes to Lake Winnipeg, and out through Hudson's Bay to the whole wide world. And if you look closely, you can sometimes see the line where the 2 rivers change. You can kind of see it today, but not super well because it's windy. So now we're on the Red River, and I'm just going to turn up the air conditioning again for us.
This is the Red River.
This over here on our right-hand side is what's known as St. Boniface. It's Winnipeg's French district, and it's the largest French-speaking community west of Quebec. Now that building right there, you can kind of see it through the trees. The white building with the green shutters is one of the oldest buildings in Western Canada. Now it is the St. Boniface Museum. Originally it was a convent for the Grey Nuns. Over time it has been an orphanage, a hospital, and a school. They offer historic tours as well, so if you guys want to learn a little more about French-Canadian history in Manitoba and Louis Riel, that's definitely the place to go. So now we're just going to pull up a little bit more so I can show you guys the St. Boniface Basilica really quickly.
That's the one I'm asking
on
you.
our right-hand side is the St. Boniface Basilica. It is the largest burnt-out Roman Catholic church in North America. So, in 1968, there was a large fire that was started during some construction on the roof, and the entire church burned down except that front wall that I will give you guys a better view of now. So the reason that the front wall is still intact is because most of the firefighting efforts were directed towards protecting that front wall. And that's because that's where 4 archbishops are entombed. The fire was actually so intense that that giant hole in the middle that used to be a stained glass window was blown out and pieces were found on that riverbank there. That's how big the explosion was. So now in behind the old facade, there's a new church, and it's actually the 4th church to be built on that site. The other 3 actually all burned down. So hopefully it has a better fire alarm system.
Why is it burning?
Sorry?
Why is it burning?
So the story is that they were doing some work on the roof, and the tar of the roof caught fire. So over here we have the Vermontier Bridge, along with the Human Rights Museum. So the Human Rights Museum is a national museum, and it's the first national museum to be built outside of the capital region. It depicts the history of the various human rights struggles humans have faced, and it culminates in the Tower of Hope. So if you're in there, you'll notice that the windows will actually let in more light the higher you go, kind of symbolizing rising out of the darkness, and then the Tower of Hope lets in the most light, obviously. So in front of us, we have l'Esplanade Riel, which is a footbridge, a cable-suspended footbridge. Now, the original version of this bridge was designed by the same company that built the Golden Gate Bridge. but it was destroyed during the flood of the century and then rebuilt. At one point, it was the only bridge in North America with a restaurant on it, but now that restaurant is vacant, so hopefully a cool business takes up the space soon, because it's really a great location. Now over here on the Provencher Bridge, you'll notice some black granite with etchings. So this is some indigenous artwork representing the 4 seasons, and obviously the best way to look at it would be to walk along L'Esplanade Riel, but it's really beautiful.
Oh wow.
Spectacular view, folks. Really good. And you know, this boat tour is not expensive, so I'll give you the price later on. I'm gonna flash the price on the screen. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, no, yung mga nagsasabi na hindi masarap ang buhay dito sa Canada, mahirap ang buhay dito sa Canada, I don't think they're saying the truth. They will even vlog saying 10 reasons why people are leaving Canada or why it's hard to live in Canada. Okay, maniniwala ron kasi sila mismo ayaw nilang umuwi.
It's known as Winnipeg's Exchange District. It's one of North America's most impressive collections of turn-of-the-century architecture. And if you walk through the Exchange District, you'll notice most of the old buildings closely resemble the old buildings in Chicago. That's because a lot of the same architects built them.
Oh.
And that's part of why Winnipeg was called Chicago of the North. This brick building over here on my left used to be the James Street pumping station, so it would suck water out of the river and it helped pressurize the fire hydrants downtown. It also helped supply the steam plant with water that's used for their purposes, basically. Right now it's Chibo's Waterfront Cafe, which is a nice little Italian restaurant. The colorful building behind it is the Mir Boutique Hotel. It has no cultural or historical significance. It's just rainbow and nice. Right in front of us here are the beautiful Alexander Docks. And of course they're underwater, because that's just what Winnipeg is like. So the Alexander Docks are actually they're quite massive, and they were where the steamships would come, dock, and unload their merchandise to be carried to the warehouses in the Exchange District. This red brick building in front of us here was the Eaton's Catalog Warehouse. It's almost an entire city block, and it's pretty ornate for a warehouse. So the Eaton's Catalog Warehouse was kind of like the original Amazon. You could basically order anything from the Eaton's Catalog, even houses. So there have actually been people on these tours that still have their Eaton's Catalog houses, which is kind of cool. So if you look through the trees to our right here, you'll notice a log wall, and that is the replica of the original Fort Gibraltar. The original Fort Gibraltar was a little bit closer to the forts, and it was important in the fur trade as a sort of stock trading post for the voyageurs. So they rebuilt it over here, and they now also give historical guided tours that are really interesting, and it's also where Winnipeg hosts our Festival de Voyageurs, which is a fun wintertime festival that celebrates French-Canadian culture as well as voyageur history. So if you're ever here in February, you should definitely check it out because it's a lot of fun. And then directly in front of us, this structure is a climbing tower, and in the winter they actually cover it with ice, and they use it to practice ice climbing.
Okay, I guess we're going back. We are going to beat the train. So this is the best way to see Winnipeg. Very, very nice. And plus, the tour guide is very, very knowledgeable. Like he knows what he's saying. Very, very nice. For 30 minutes, I think it's more than 30 minutes. Sulit ka na rito. Wow. Woo! As I was saying earlier, yung nagsasabi na mahirap daw ang buhay dito sa Canada. Wala yun. Yung mga vlog na yun, hindi totoo yun. Masarap ang buhay dito sa Canada. Canada is one of the best place to be. One of the best place to live. Super ganda. Dito, the reason why employers are giving $17 an hour is because they know that $17 an hour is enough for you to survive. And the government will not approve that if they know that the people are gonna suffer. So, tama lang yun. But some of the Filipinos, they're vlogging, they will say, you know what, bibili ka ng sasakyan dito, walang sasakyan. At syempre, pag bumili ka ng sasakyan, hindi naman basta-basta. Kailangan din reliable Honda or whatever, Toyota. Kayabangan yon. I mean, don't buy that. If you can't afford it, don't buy that. Because insurance is really high. Ooh, amazing. Yun ang sinasabi ko. So, matuto kayong magkasya dun sa tinatangkilik nyo. If you know you cannot afford Toyota or Honda or any other expensive car, then don't buy that. Magbabayad ka ng insurance na malaki because Japanese cars are imported cars. Malaki ang insurance. But if you buy an American car, yeah, they're cheap. Don't believe them. At yung mga nagbablog na yon, ng mga Pilipino, ayaw nilang umuwi. Kung nahihirapan kayo rito, might as well umuwi na kayo. Pero sila mismo, isang taon ang nagbablog, hindi pa rin sila umuwi. Kaya medyo questionable yun. Don't even waste your time watching their vlog because, you know, sisinungaling lang sila. Nakita nyo, like look at this. This is the life you want to have, you know, touring. Dito kasi magtrabaho ka lang ng konti, kakain ka na ng masarap, and you have to spend money for yourself, you know. Kaya ka nga nandito, kaya ka nga nagtatrabaho para gastusin mo sa sarili. So, that's how it is. And of course, libre naman ang pag-aaral ng mga bata rito from elementary to high school, so you still have enough time to save. And if you want an apartment, like Julio's apartment, then asawa naman kayo, so yeah, kikita kayo, right? You can still afford it. Don't see this river like this in the Philippines. Tingnan nyo how disciplined the people here in Canada are. Like, they love the place, they take care of the place. Hindi nila pinababayaan, hindi kagaya in Philippines, basura dito, basura ron, tapon dito, tapon doon. Most of the rivers are polluted. Like here, they tend to preserve the nature. Kaya, napakaganda ng lugar dito sa Canada. So, you know, I will debunk all those people that are vlogging negatively when they say the life in Canada is so hard and everything. I don't believe that. Wow, look at the view. Very, very nice. See that?
Yeah, it's a really beautiful building. It cost almost $300 million or over $300 million to build. It's also got that same tingle stone that we talked about earlier on the ledge. And if you guys have time, you really should check it out because it's beautiful. You could really spend weeks in there. So that's how high the water was. We got all these fish from Lake Winnipeg swimming in the Red River.
Again, folks, masarap ang buhay dito sa Canada. Di pa magtrabaho ka lang ng konti, kakain ka na ng masarap. So, hindi kagaya, I mean, if you're in Philippines, you work all your life and you're still kailangan magnakaw ka para makasurvive ka. And I don't think those, like, let's say when it comes to, that's the reason why maraming corrupt na politicians out there. Kasi they want huge amount of money right away because they don't have any knowledge. Walang trabaho sa atin na maibigay ang government sa mga tao, kaya corruption, nanakaw na lang. That's how it goes. In all country, I mean, I'm not saying na walang corruption dito, but you know, in every country there is, but hello, magtira naman kayo para sa tao. You know.
We call that the lighthouse. Its actual name is the Dolphin, though I have zero idea why they call it the Dolphin, and it's kind of the feature landmark of the Fort Sport. Over here on our left, this is what's known as Spirit Island. Now, I don't talk about it too much because you can't really see much of it from the water, but there's a lot of indigenous artwork, and there's even a traditional indigenous structure over there. So it's actually worth checking out if you guys want to walk across our beautiful, expensive footbridge. It's also where Pierre Laverendrye first landed his canoe when he got to the forts in 17 something. They have some really nice statues, very informative.
Amazing, very informative.
So that's it for the tour today, guys. I hope everybody had fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm glad it was nice. Thank you. I have a little tip jar here. There's no obligation, of course, just if you guys enjoyed it. The only obligation that I do have is that you all remain seated while I try not to damage this boat as I crash into this dock. So we'll just wait a second while these guys take off, and then
Sulit na sulit ito. It's worth the price.
Very informative, very nice. Such an enjoyable ride, folks. You should try this boat tour.
looks like it's just about our turn. And you guys don't have to listen to me. Sorry?
That's the train from the other side.
I'm not sure, but I don't want to give you the wrong number, but I will ask on the docks. Yeah, I would say around there, but I don't want to misinform you guys. But the owner is actually on the dock. He's going to catch our boat, and he'll know for sure. So I'll ask him. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Hindi na kayo makakabalik dito once pumunta kayo sa lugar na to. So samantalahin nyo na, you know. It's kind of like it's once in a lifetime. You can still come here, but who knows when, right? So whatever you can do, you gotta do it. And this is one of them.
Alright everybody, so please just stay seated while they quickly tie up the boat. Thank you guys very much for your time. Looks like I didn't reverse hard enough there. Alright, all good. Thank you everybody.
You should try this, folks, when you're here in Winnipeg. Dennis boat tour. Wow. Amazing. Very informative. Okay. My battery is about like 1% already. And I think I need to stop. There you have it, folks. Hope you liked the video of our boat cruise. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.